Hey guys, it's Appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel and happy Friday, happy weekend. So it's been a little while since I last drew your guys' characters and I opened up submissions this past week and got a lot of them, so thank you guys. So for today's video, I wanted to do another Drawing Your OCs video, but with a little bit of a twist. But before we get into that, I just want to take a second to thank today's video sponsor. I'd like to thank the top-level domain name .design for sponsoring today's video. If you want a more exciting website URL that doesn't end in something like .com or .net, .design might just be for you. For aspiring and established design freelancers, agencies, artists, and design-driven brands, .design is the domain name that matches exactly what you do. It's the premier domain extension for professional and aspiring designers from website and UX design, interior design, to other artistic disciplines. It's already being used by many of the world's leading brands, design departments, and design studios, making it the go-to domain choice for the global design community. Major brands like Spotify, Slack, Airbnb, Adobe, and Amazon are also already using it as well. You can head to www.your.design using the link below to learn more about .design and find the perfect name for your website or portfolio. So get on board and get your name before it's gone. And thank you again to .design for sponsoring today's video. So as I mentioned, today's Drawing Your OCs video will have a little bit of a twist. Rather than doing full-bodied characters, I really wanted to do a chibi style today. And it's something that I guess I don't normally draw on my channel, but I do like drawing them from time to time, this kind of cutesy stylized art style for characters. So I wanted to take that and use your characters as guinea pigs today. So thank you to everybody who sent in their character, and I'm doing 3 for today's video. Since these are smaller drawings, I had a little bit more time. So yeah, 3 instead of the usual 2. But anyway, this first character is named Akane, and this was sent to me by somebody named Blake. A little bit about the character is that she's very outgoing, but also a diva. She's a model, likes pastel and soft colors, and they said that her eyes were hazel, but in the picture it was purple, so I went with the way it was in the picture because I try to usually stay pretty true to what people send me for their character designs. And for the shoes, I ended up giving her I made up a shoe for her, but then I realized later that in the email they also gave me a description of what the shoes are like, so I'm sorry I didn't get those exact. That's my bad. But anyway, yeah, I don't usually draw chibis on my channel. I think it's just because I prefer to draw people with, I guess, more regular human proportions, if that makes sense, rather than giant heads. But I do like doing it from time to time. I think I typically do it for commissions, since it's one of the things that I offer when they are open, but other than that, I guess I just don't really do it for myself as much. But anyway, this character caught my eye just because of all the fun pastel colors, and it's always really hard to choose which characters I want to draw for these videos. I try to get a bit of a range of variety, I guess, in the characters that I choose. I try not to choose 2 or 3, I guess in this case, that look too samey, just so I have some variety in the video, but also so that people's different characters get to be showcased. So this one was definitely very frilly and very cute. Yeah, I actually also had most of the colors, or at least I was able to close enough match most of the colors that were used in their drawing, which is sometimes a struggle depending, sometimes when people send me digital artwork, you know, you can pick any color digitally, but when I try to translate it to marker, I don't always have the exact shades. So this was already a marker drawing, and I want to guess, I don't know what brand they used, but I tried to guess the best I could to color match. But yeah, so I had the most fun doing the hair because there's a bit of a gradient in the hair. Oh, that's how I interpreted it, at least. They didn't write anything about that, but I wanted to make the hair a little bit more exciting. So I had it fade lighter at the bottom and more like reddish orange in the middle, going to dark brown. But yeah, this is Akane, and she was very fun to draw, and I appreciate you sending her to me. And now I'm just doing the final finishing touches. I like to add some sparkles and a little bit of color and, you know, something in the background for all of them. But that's her. I hope you like her. Hope I did her justice. And now on to the next character. this next character was sent to me by somebody named Holly, and this is their character, Nathan. Brief description about Nathan is that he is 17, described as emotionless and hostile, but is actually just shy and very sleep deprived. And he likes to play video games and do photography. So they sent me a bunch of different references for this character. I chose this one just because I wanted to draw him in this outfit. So they gave me one where he was in a red sweater and a black sweater, and so I just picked this one. And since he doesn't have a torso in this one, I just imagined he might be wearing some kind of like dark gray pants or something like that, so I kind of took some liberties there. I normally try to pick people's characters who give me at least most of a drawing or most of a colored drawing, because it's the easiest to translate into a drawing or, you know, adapt into my style. Some people send me drawings, or some people I should say send me just text describing their character. While that's valid, for me it's a lot harder and I don't want to get it wrong. So it's a lot easier if I just have a photo reference of the character and I can just adapt it from there. So I always feel bad when I have to pass up on the people that send me the text, or send me a black and white, just like a sketch, and try to describe it. But like, it's for the sake of the videos, it's much easier to do it when I have a drawing. So that's just a little thing I want to throw out there so you guys know. But anyway, this character, since he is very sleep deprived, has dark circles under his eyes. So I used a black colored pencil and smeared it underneath his eyes to get that effect, because I didn't want to screw it up with trying to do a gradient using my gray markers, just in case like I went a little too dark or a little too heavy. His design was a little more straightforward. The only thing that I had some trouble replicating was the top, well, I guess the coloring of the hair, how it fades from dark black on top into blonde. Just because my cutoff point I kind of gave it was like right where the highlight was gonna be, and then I was like, oh shoot, I think I could have done this a little differently. So I had some trouble there making it look natural, especially since it is such a harsh color change rather than a gradient. But yeah, that's the only thing I really had trouble with there, but everything else was pretty straightforward. And I gave him more of a lounging, lazy kind of pose, like a why are you bothering me kind of pose. I'm exhausted. And I was using kind of like these little ovals, I guess, in the background of these, just to kind of put some color there and kind of frame the character a bit. So for his, I have him sitting on it, since I wanted him to do, you know, a sitting pose, but I didn't want him to just be sitting in the air on nothing. So if that makes sense. But yeah, he was fun to draw as well. And like I said, I try to pick characters that look a little different. So yeah, this is definitely a stark contrast from the first character that I drew that was very pastel and happy and cute, to a more, yeah, basically opposite kind of character. But anyway, that is Nathan. They also mentioned he goes by Nate for short, but whatever you want to call him, Nate or Nathan, that is him. And I hope I did him some justice as well. And now on to the final character. So this last character was sent to me by somebody named Abby, and I thought this character was really interesting since they kind of made their own species here. So to read a little bit about their character, I don't think it had a specific name. They called it a Volcanic Siren because they sent me a bunch of different types of mermaid characters that they had. So this was one of them. And their description for this character is that they live among the underwater volcanoes and use their tails for absorbing the nutrients from the water. They're very dark, usually coming from dark crimson or deep purple, and they like to collect human things and wear more jewelry and clothes. They have glowing veins underneath their scales that look like lava cracks they live near. So I thought this was really, really awesome, and I wanted to draw her really badly. And the only thing that I was worried about was I wasn't sure how I was going to replicate the cracks, like the glowing of them on the tail, but I'll get to that later. But anyway, yeah, this is a really awesome character. And I think it's really cool when people come up with their own kind of, I guess, more involved story or more involved kind of species or character design. I find it really awesome. So that's something that definitely drew me to this character, and also just the color palette and her design overall as a whole. It's just something that I really gravitated toward and really wanted to replicate. So I had most of the colors for this one. I think I went a little bit darker with the skin, or maybe slight. I mean, the camera always shows my colors slightly off. I try to correct that, but so it might not be exactly how it is in person. But yeah, my colors were a little bit more on the orangey side of brown rather than the reddish side of brown, though I used the more reddish browns that I had, so it's not an exact match, but I did my best. But another thing was, I think I'm very limited in the purples, the dark purples that I have. So yeah, that was another, just little things that like tones or shades were slightly off, like those things bother me, but I do my best to match them, like I said. But yeah, overall, this character is super awesome. And I also just like the color palette as a whole. I like purples and golds obviously go together well since they're opposite on the color wheel, they're complementary. So everything's just really cool. And anytime I can draw a non-human character, I will take that opportunity, because you guys know I much prefer drawing like animal people or mermaids or vampires or whatever. I like drawing supernatural people over regular humans. That's just my preference. So I get a little excited when I see things like this. But yeah, overall awesome and fun character to draw, and I had a lot of fun doing chibis for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little different than normal, but if you want to see more drawing your OCs in this style, maybe I can do another one like this in the future. Otherwise, I have no problem going back to doing full body versions, but I'm interested in hearing what you guys prefer, what you like, just because I'm down for either one. I just like drawing your guys' characters and when you get excited and send them in. So thank you guys again for all of your submissions, and if you're wondering when to submit, I always make a community tab post on my YouTube page when I am looking for submissions, and I also announce it in my Discord server, which you can join using the link in my description below, and you'll be the first to be notified whenever I have my submissions open. So that's really the best way to see it, since you'd get a direct notification about it. But anyway, all of my links are in the description below, as well as the link to our video sponsor, so go check them out again. But the link to my online store, my Discord server like I mentioned, my Instagram, and my Patreon pin club are all there, so please check those out if you're interested, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all next Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time as always. Bye bye!